What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope your races are going well this week. So Assetto Corsa Evo. The good, the bad, the ugly, the great. There's a lot to unpack with this one. Now, let me preface this video by saying this game is an early access. It is early access. Just like ACC before it, just like AC before that. It is in early access. Now, I have some opinions on the early access model. I also have some opinions on whether a game should be released and how done it should be in reference to the early access model. But I want you guys to take this video and the things that I do say about this game in early access with a grain of salt, because it is in early access. Now, is that any reason to... Everything's okay. The game is unplayable. It's perfectly fine. It's in early access. Obviously not. Obviously, we want a playable game. Obviously, we want the features that we were promised that were in the game, this and that. But you have to step back on your expectations a little bit. The biggest thing about this is this game was blown out of proportions already. Like, AC is so great. It was out years ago, this and that. AC Evo is going to be the successor, which means it's going to be that much better. This game has been out for a week, if that. Now, I've turned some laps on it. I want to give you guys my initial impressions on it, whether they be good, whether they be bad, whether they be this, that. And I want to start a conversation in the comment section below on what you guys think about AC Evo early access. Again, early access. There's people in the Facebook comments that are going nuts over this game and just bashing the hell out of it. And while I do agree with some of their points, I disagree with some of their points as well. So we're going to get into that. Today we're driving the Cube Controls wheel. I feel like it better suits the some of the cars that are in the game. And yeah, let's dive into it, and then we'll talk about it just from the opening screen here. Alright guys, so all the way down to begin with the menu. So I'm running this off of a Ryzen 9, I believe it's a 5950X, a 4070 Ti Super, 32 gigs of RAM, and an SSD. And the menus, as of right now, are just so choppy. This game also has an issue to an extent with the triple screen, and I'll dive into that in a second. But I mean, I've been playing this game for a little bit now, and the issue that I'm having with it is that I cannot run it on high settings. I cannot run it on very high, and I have a 4070 Ti Super. It's choppy. It's not optimized. It's not. It's just not good per se gameplay wise. I'm able to play it in those settings, but I'm getting around like 30 FPS when cars are on track. I haven't even touched the weather yet. I'm frankly scared to touch the weather because of what it will look like, to be honest with you. So you guys can look at my settings here. If I go into video, it just takes so, like, that was kind of fast, but I have it at very low right now. Just because last night I was playing it, I was getting 60 FPS finally. But if you guys are running on anything older, like, for right now, I don't know, it just hold off for a little bit, just because of the sole purpose that I don't know if it's gonna run very well on your guys' system. Now, there are some guys out on the Facebook that are getting ludicrous amounts of frames. I personally think that they're running something crazy like a 4090 or something, you know. But as far as everything else goes, I just can't run it at 60. Now, I will tell you, this game feels very PC Gran Turismo-esque, and the fact that when you click on something in the menu, it makes like a noise like Gran Turismo would. When you back out, it makes some noise like Gran Turismo would. So with that being said, I think that's cool, you know. We get our own little version of Gran Turismo, even though it's Assetto Corsa. So what is in this early access? Well, if you go to Drive, you do have your single player mode where you can set up your races. There are 20 cars in the
in the early access to start with, and you have a variation of kind of a lot. You have some racing cars, lots of road cars. It's a good mix. I do know that they were supposed to put out the special events, but there was an issue with the offline down here. I guess the servers just couldn't handle the amount of people, or something was going on with them. So the game is offline right now. And unfortunately, we're not able to play that mode. Although in the beta testing or something like that, that's out right now for a couple hours, you can try out the special events mode, or sorry, the academy mode. With that being said, though, the other thing that I was gonna say is the game is always online. Like, for now, I don't know if they're gonna change that. I don't know what's gonna happen, but maybe for multiplayer events and stuff like that, maybe that's why it's always online. I'm really not too sure. I just don't really understand it at all. I'm gonna be completely honest. We've seen this always online aspect before, and it never works. I feel like it's never consistent. It's never, the minute your internet goes down, you can't play the game anymore, and it's just like, or the servers get taken down, you can't play the game anymore, and it's like that ownership debate, I guess, that goes on, like what happens when they axe it, and it's like we don't know, right? So I've always been against always online games. Not that I have another, theory or anything to go off of on how to fix it. If you have an opinion, then how do you fix it? I don't have one. But I'm not partial to these always online stuff. So if we go into the vehicle tab, obviously we have a dealership that's going to be coming. We have the garage, and we do have customized vehicle right here. Now, the customization for the vehicles, it kind of dives into like Test Drive Unlimited, if you've ever played that, to where it's interior color, exterior color, the type of wheels you want, whether you want alloys on them, whether you want this, whether you want that. So we can play around with it a little bit if you go to the exterior. And again, I apologize, this game loads kind of slow. So you can change the brake caliper color, to whatever you want, whether it be manufacturer colors or whether it be something else. So we can change that. We can go to the wheels. We can change the wheel color right now, which is nice, just to make it whatever you guys want. Make it white, because that's cool. And then we hit apply. You can customize the clear coat and everything like that. That's kind of cool. I did see that on some of the other cars, you can change the DRMs to yellow and a bunch of other stuff, so that's kind of cool as well. Hopefully they implement building your own cars. That would be sick. Adding performance parts to them, and also adding, exterior modifications, carbon fiber, body panels, wheels, whatever, that would be actually pretty cool. Okay, so we are back. I did go ahead and have to, unfortunately, restart the game and relaunch it, to get it out of that frozen state. One more thing before we dive in that I wanted to go over is the controls. So what they did here is actually kind of cool, but it was a little complicated to get it all set up. So if you go into up here, these are all your devices that are going to be connected. These are all of them. So obviously you have my Cube Controls GT wheel, and then from the wheel you're obviously going to map your buttons, right? So if you do paddle up, it'll register that. Paddle down, it'll register that. Let me see here. If you go to so I have a haptic on one of my SemiCube, the gas pedal, and it measures the haptic. The SemiCube Link is going to be your throttle and obviously the active pedal. SemiCube 2 Pro is going to be where you set up all your force feedback settings and stuff. So the game is somewhat cool, but it did take a little getting used to at first to go ahead and actually go into it and edit each one of the settings, just for the sole purpose that I'm not used to something like that. So yeah, it took me just a second to get through that. With that being said, though, let's get into the car list, and then let's get on track and give you my impressions. So you might be asking yourself, okay, what do we get with this early access? So one thing that I do like is that they are adding the Academy. The Academy is like your Gran Turismo license test. I did see a couple people on YouTube today playing the beta with the beta key, or the beta password, and they look just like Gran Turismo tests, which is really, really cool. I am a big fan of those license tests. I think they're cool to kind of grind and get gold and better your driving and stuff like that. But we also get this single-player race mode, right? So, tracks. What tracks do we get? So we get 2 layouts of Brands Hatch. We get 1 Imola, Laguna Seca, Mount Panorama, and 3 layouts of Suzuka. So, pretty famous tracks that you're getting here. So I have always the last couple times I've driven on Laguna Seca, so we'll start on that just for this video, just to give you my impressions of the physics and everything like that. So we go to the garage. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have heard, but they're going to do rental cars. There's going to be this big open world where you earn money and do a bunch of other stuff later on into the game. So while we go into the garage, wait for a second for it to load, and then you should be able to see all the cars that they added. So, very good selection of cars, right? The Alfa Romeo Giulia GT-AM. I don't agree with how this is laid out. I think that it should be like one manufacturer, and then under that manufacturer you have the cars. But I think, let's see, that might be because I have the All tab. Okay, so there we go. So it is kind of laid out like that. But the issue with it is if you go into the dealer or whatever selection you do for the cars, it's like 7 of the same cars just in different paint schemes. So maybe they should have it to where you have the Alfa Romeo Giulia, and then you click on that, and then you get all the different paint schemes for the cars. And then you would have, in the same section, you'd have the Alfa Romeo Junior, and then all the paint schemes for those cars once you clicked on that car. But the way they have it right now is kind of just like, hey, these are all the cars in Alfa Romeo. Alpine, Audi, BMW. Some people were complaining about the sounds in this game. I actually think they're okay. People were saying that Gran Turismo 6 vacuum sounds are back, and I'm like, no, dude. It's not that bad, bro. It is not that bad. I have been dying to get back behind the wheel of the S2K, so let's go ahead and drive the S2K for this little session that we're going to do. So we'll do that. We'll hit back, and that kind of selects your car. We'll do clear weather. You can change the weather as well. You can go into dynamic, broken clouds, scattered clouds, rain, heavy rain. Really scared about that, as I said in the beginning of the video, because right now the game already doesn't load or like run correctly because it's not optimized. But yeah, so we're not gonna do rain. Again, early access, guys. Early access. So yeah, I think these settings are perfectly good, and we'll go from here, and let's start this session up. Alright guys, welcome to Assetto Corsa Evo. So this is going to be your pit box. I do have some issues sometimes when I do load into the game. What ends up happening is because I'm using triple screens, it like turns into a black screen at first, and then what you do is you have to go into the restart session, and then from the restart session you have to go and actually click monitor 1 and then go back and click monitor 2 to actually get the full triple screen. The good thing about it is triple screen support is supported. I'm not too sure about VR. That's something that you'll have to look up. But as far as triple screens go, it is supported right off the gate. So that's a huge thing. We don't have to mess with the settings or anything. I mean, a little bit, but not too much. Anyways, though, here is our race going into Laguna Seca. Now, the frame rate sometimes does get a little wonky. Now, if you do remember, like I said, this is on very low settings, because that's the only way that I'm able to get. Right now I'm getting 53 frames per second. That is, for some reason, the only way I am able to get that 53 to 60 with cars on the grid. I don't know why. It's just not optimized well for me, and it kind of sucks because I have a pretty good, what I'd like to think, PC. But this Honda screams just like it should. Just like it should. It's beautiful. Another thing I will say about the AI right now is I do have them on 90 or 95. I can't really remember. But they do like to kill you. And they will kill you. So be careful about that. Now, first impressions about the driving. The rumble strips feel incredible. And I feel like the actual driving is where this game makes up for itself. the way the rumble strips feel, the way the road feels, the way I can feel the car load and unload itself under braking, like right there, I can feel that left front tire dip into the divot, and the way that it feels on the compression is really, really nice. I'm gonna go down into the corkscrew here. Little sacrilegious because we're using paddle shifters in order to drive an S2000. I know, please don't shun me for it. I do not have a shifter to start ripping gears. Oh dear. That did not turn out very well right there. Okay, all right. Let's see if we can gain back some positions. This is only a 3-lap race. I will also tell you I am driving on, obviously, the SimiCube 2 Pro. There is a couple guys who do have a profile out right now, just for the game. I have seen people run 1080 for degrees of rotation on here. I usually run 980 on the rest of my sim. Wait, hold on. Ooh, I feel like that guy who's in the UK who bangs the gears. It goes like this and bangs the gears. Oh, this Honda just screams. Looks like we have a Kazi on our inside right now. Now, the mirrors. The mirrors are having a problem for me for some reason. I did turn them down last night, but I turned them back up, I thought. Maybe I didn't. Not too sure, but they've been like this for a little bit. Maybe that's what's killing my frame rate, to be honest with you. I do know that in iRacing, the mirrors tank your frame rate, so I ended up turning them off for a little bit. But yeah, guys, again, the biggest thing that the silver lining in this game, I feel like, is I do not have rain on. Why is rain on? Oh, it looks so bad. Oh, my poor computer. I'm at 46 frames per second right now. I did not know that we had dynamic weather on. That is concerning. So this will be the first time that I do drive in rain. Let's see how it is. We almost killed the Kazi. But again, as I was saying, the silver lining in this game, I feel like, is the force feedback and how the forces actually act and oh dear, how they act and how they translate that into the wheel. It's just, it feels fantastic. And that's what I was telling some of my friends who were hesitant on buying the game. You know, the the RPMs. Yeah, 9,000. But as I was telling some of my friends, they were wondering if they should get the game or not. And my wholehearted opinion, I think right now is a good time to buy it because it's on sale. Not to say that it's not going to be on sale later, obviously. With Assetto Corsa, it was on sale for a huge discount later on. I think that there's an okay amount of content to get you through, like, trying out the cars, trying out the tracks. But the biggest thing about this that I feel like is the developers are going to work on it. And we do know that Assetto Corsa and ACC and all that was such a good game to the point where it is what it is today because of the developers and because they kept working on it, right? So in my opinion, I know that this game is going to get better. I know. Now, in its state right now, do I think that it's like, oh, you have to buy it? No, absolutely not. I don't think that you have to buy it. And if you wanted to wait, I don't blame you at all. But right now, the reason that I bought it is because it's on the sale. I think it's 20% off right now just to get you in. And you know, it's kind of cool to show your friends and just hop in a car in a random track and go for it. Obviously, you can use AC for that, but I'm telling you guys, there's something about the physics in this game that feels really good. And immediately I noticed it when I started driving on it. The first thing I noticed was how the compressions and how the car feels on the actual track. It feels very, very good. And I completely missed the apex there. But it feels very, very good. I will tell you that. Right now we're getting 49 FPS on very low. The water looks horrible. But you know what? That's okay. Hopefully it'll get a little more optimized. I feel like the game itself is a little heavier than AC. Obviously because AC is a really old game. But I feel like it's going to get optimized, it's going to get updates, it's going to get the Academy, it's going to get this, it's going to get that. Now, should we have got that from launch? Because that's what they advertised? Yeah, probably. But, you know, oh, look at the frame rate. Oh, we're at 20 frames right now, 29, 30 frames right now. This is what I'm talking about as far as optimization goes. But should we have gotten that stuff at launch? Yeah. But, you know, there's going to be bugs. There's going to be some stuff to ice out and again, iron out. And again, I'm not defending them. I'm not saying, hey, this is okay. But what I am saying is to nurse your expectations, because this is super early access week 1. And to defend Kunos a little bit, the cars did not show, all 20 cars were not showing up in the game at launch. When the game launched, all 20 cars were not showing up. I think you had like 10 cars, maybe that. But the thing about it is that because the game was not going online and it was a bug, what they ended up doing was they ended up that day releasing an update saying, hey, we have released an update. These cars are now online or available offline. Please check them out. We hope you enjoy them. And that's pretty awesome, you know, for an early access game, for the developers to sit there and go, hey, we're going to send you an update. Oh my goodness, I can't get over it. Looks like the rain's getting harder and harder. I can't get over that scream. But that's pretty awesome for the developers to sit there and say, hey, we know that there's something wrong with the game. We're sorry. How about we fix this on day 1, and we're working our butts off through the weekend or whatever to launch these cars and give you the content that we advertise. So if that's not a true tale of how this is going to go down and how everything with this game, the developers are how they're going to be with it, then, you know, I don't know what it is, you know. Again, do I think you should buy it now? It's a toss-up, you know. I think that it has really good physics, but I think that if you don't have a 4090 and a 7800X3D, you're going to kind of be lacking a little bit in the graphical department like I am. I might, again, take that with a grain of salt, because I might have the settings wrong. I'm not too sure, but I've played with the settings a lot, and this is the best that I can get it to run right now. But with that being said, let's start a conversation down in the comment section below. What do you guys think about AC Evo so far? I would love to make a video or two just on another car, maybe another track, tell you what my feelings are about that. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys think is going to happen with AC Evo, what you got. Okay, Kazi parked on the outside. Let me know what you guys think of AC Evo. Let me know if you guys are going to pick it up. Let me know if you guys are going to wait. And I'd like to have a civilized conversation, guys. There's no need to sit there and start screaming at people about how iRacing is better and this is better and that's better. It's a new sim game at the end of the day. We're getting new sim titles. And that's awesome, you know. We're getting new sim titles to play new games on and to have fun driving with your pals and whatnot. So if that's not exciting, I don't know what is. But on that note, let's see if I can spin this thing. Let's see if I can do a burnout. Or not a burnout, donut. No, that went horrible. I'm determined. I want to see if I can do one more. I'm determined here. Come on. Yeah. Uh-oh. But on that note, let me know down below what you guys think about AC Evo. Once the Academy launches, I'd like to do some more videos on that, kind of get even more of your guys' opinion on what's going on there. But stay tuned for the next video. I'm out on this one. Peace.